Hey y'all, come on in. Let's see what's happening in today's video.
Hello, Emerald Gypsy Heart here. We're having a heat wave. It's going to be 70 today and sunny. And you cannot imagine how much it charges me. So, we're going to go out today. We're going to do a little vlogging, etc. Shopping. I still have to finish getting clothes. Because when we moved, I went through all my clothes and just kind of donated everything that was basically too small. So, I don't mean to brag, but I have an extra large men's Hanes t-shirt on that at the beginning of winter I couldn't pull it down over my belly. Guess what? Same shirt. I can pull it down over my belly. Yeah. So I may not notice the weight loss, but I do notice that my clothes fit differently. At my last weigh-in, I was 232 pounds, so that's still a 4-pound loss. But I have become more active now that the weather is nice. I try to make my step goal, which is 4,000 steps every day, except for the days that, due to health problems between Hubz and I, I don't get to go walking every day. But 2 days in a row, Rexy's day out, and the following day, we both me and Rexy walked the thing. Then yesterday, I shot two intros for Beyond 1031, which is a friend of ours' YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description below for that channel. And a link in the description below for HorrorQueen and Marie Winton. Some other fellow tubers. I'll get to see HorrorQueen this summer and her husband. I'm so looking forward to visiting everyone. Put it this way. We're going to go all the way and put our feet in the Atlantic Ocean in Virginia. I am so excited because although we live less than 2.5 hours from the Pacific coast, the water is cold. Even in the middle of summer, it is cold. Just like the lakes around here. The lakes around here stay about 62 degrees year-round. So, join us as we go on our adventure today. Alright, destination 1. Husband had to go find him something to eat. So, I'm in the Safeway parking lot. We'll see how many people look at me. I'm stupid. My eyes are running, and that's for the glare. So, our trip itinerary is tentative, which means that if I need to make changes, there's enough room to make those changes. So, we're going to go up from Washington State into Montana. We're going to go to Yellowstone, Montana. I think it's called West Yellowstone, Montana. Not for any other reason other than the fact that we wanted to go across the top of the United States. But we're not doing North Dakota. I wanted to see the Crazy Horse rock statue that they built to honor the Native Americans. But it isn't complete. But I do want to go to Mount Rushmore. It's always been on a bucket list, something that I want to be able to see before I can't see anymore. Then we're going to go through Minnesota. And I am going to Paisley Park. Because I am a big Prince fan. And I never got the opportunity to see him in concert as a teenager because my mother was older than my peers by about 15 years. So my mom wasn't into the music trends and such, or, like letting her kid go to a concert with friends, etc. I wasn't allowed to sleep at anybody's house as a kid, and no one was allowed to sleep at my house because my mom didn't believe in that kind of thing. But when I became like 15, 14, something in that area. I was allowed to go spend the night at my friend Lisa's for, the weekend, etc., which allowed me to go camping. And, never had to pack any clothes to go camping because we camped at a nudist colony. Clothes are so overrated. So from Minnesota to Wisconsin, I used to have a shirt years and years and years ago. We found this shirt, my ex-husband and I found this shirt in a thrift store, and it was a wedding scene, and the people from the Wisconsin side wore the cheese hats, and the bride side did not. It was a really cute shirt. I wanted to go to Oshkosh, etc. I don't know if we will. I do know that we're going to go to Milwaukee. I want to do as many things on the water in different places because I'm a Virgo, and although I'm an earth sign, I love the water. Then we're going to go down into Chicago, and then into West Virginia, then into actual Virginia. I want to go to Roanoke and Newport News, etc. I want to go put my feet in the Atlantic Ocean. I love the water. What can I say? And then from there, we're going to go to Petersburg, Virginia, where I have a friend that I haven't seen in almost 20 years. There, and Roanoke, I have a friend who, we make this joke all the time, that thank God cell phone cameras, etc., weren't even thought of, basically, when we were teenagers, because she's a police officer. And if the internet and Facebook and MySpace and cell phone cameras, etc., a thing, I don't think she'd have become a police officer. We didn't get in a whole lot of trouble, but we got into our fair share. We've never been arrested. We talked ourselves out of trouble twice. I'll have to tell that story one day. And then we're going to go to North Carolina. I have friends from first grade. Her son, her baby, and my oldest are 8 days apart. David Ross, which is her son, was due to be born the end of July, and she got into a car accident, so they took little David early on July 1st, and my oldest was born on July 9th. So yeah, and mine is my oldest, and that is her baby. So yeah. And what's really funny is he doesn't have any kids, and neither does my son Joseph. It's funny. From North Carolina back to Tennessee. Now this is where we might change our plans just a little bit. We may go from North Carolina straight into Alabama instead of going up to Tennessee. Just depends on how tired we are and how many days we've been on the road. If we end up changing our plans, it still fits on our return trip home. I'm going to go and it still makes me a little emotional. I get to meet people that are blood to me. And yeah, my kids are blood, my grandkids are blood, but those are my kids. I get to meet my told you it made me emotional. I get to meet my half brother and half sister on our mother's side. And I'll get to lay flowers on the woman who gave me life's grave. For without her, I would not be here. I can't say that my life would have been any different. And I don't regret being given up. I never held it against them. Especially when I had gotten put in the same situation when I was 16. That's a story for another vlog. Anyway, moving on. And we did learn that some of my biological father's people live just down the road from where my biological mother's buried, in a little bitty town called Stevensville, Mississippi. In the woods somewhere. And I'll get to lay flowers on my paternal grandparents' grave, my paternal mother's grave. I'll get to meet cousins, and etc. I still have not made contact with my biological father's children from his marriage, because they were both married to two different people when I was brought into this world. So that's going to be West Point, Columbus, Mississippi area, and then a little further north, a little further south from that, and then into Birmingham, Alabama, where HorrorQueen and her husband live, and then up to Huntsville, where my third grade teacher, who has always been a part of my mother pie. If you don't know what a mother pie is and you'd like an explanation, leave me a comment saying mother pie, and I will gladly do a video on what a mother pie is to me. And we'll probably be staying there probably as little as a week and as much as 2, maybe 3 weeks. Her husband, Mr. Gene, is beginning to have memory lapses, dementia, these, so we want to go. And if it comes down to the fact that I have to cut out going back to Graceland until we return, make our return journey back to the Pacific Northwest, I will. So Washington, a little tiny bit of Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, Minnesota, Illinois, West Virginia, North Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee. Well, it should have been Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi. But like I said, I can cut out the Tennessee section until we decide we're ready to go home. And on our return trip, it'll be Tennessee, because we want to go back and spend some time in Nashville. Then we'll go to Kentucky, into Chicago, and we're going to jump on Route 66 and drive all the way to Bakersfield, California. Then up probably to the Pacific Coast Highway in California, and go. It depends on how tired we are, etc., whether or not we go back to San Francisco on the return trip or not. I want to go to Hollywood. Again, that's going to depend on time, etc. So we shall see. And then up through Oregon and back to Washington. And I do believe at this point that this will be our last big journey that we drive. Post office. Yay! They went to dash cam, turned off. So, at the post office, people pulling up next to me. So, I don't know where we're going next. I still have to buy clothing for Hubz, and I need shorts and stuff for me. And he needs to have new shorts. With his severe weight loss, he was wearing medium basketball shorts, but I don't know if he can fit in them anymore, because he went from a little over 200 pounds, had a stroke, and he had been sitting at 140, 145 since the stroke. But we think we know what was wrong. While he was working under the house on the sewage, he must have gotten a parasite of some sort, and he's been taking these nasty natural parasite killer, I guess is the word I want. But they smell like cologne and they taste terrible. But he's been putting on a little bit of weight. So, can you tell where we are? We're in the Easter section at Walmart. I don't buy Easter candy, mainly because I don't like hyper children. So, I'm just kind of looking around to see what ideas I can get for the kids for Easter. Ollie likes bubbles, etc., and Bella's only going to be 4 months old, 5 months old. So, I don't have to spend a lot on Bella's basket. And I probably won't spend a lot on Ollie's basket. But we shall see. No garden again this year. And that's basically because of living in a trailer. Now I'm in my least favorite department. I hate shopping for shoes with a passion. Because my feet are so small. I found one with flamingos. I'm in a flamingo kind of mood lately. When last we left off, I was shopping for shoes. Even though they're flip-flops, they're still shoes, right? I have 3 pairs. One to knock around the house in, one to run errands in, and the other just so I'm comfortable. I can't stand to wear shoes, ever.
This temperature was at 2:15. Rochester, Washington is just a little north of Centralia.
Lunch. Safeway again. General Tso's?
Yeah.
Mandarin chicken?
It's called Boom Boom Shrimp.
And boom boom shrimp. Alrighty then. Okay, it's 3:15.
Everything you need for your home.
My current steps are 1,200 and 1,200 and not sure. And my resting heart rate is boom 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 boom. 80. So let's get to walking. Oh, the ducks. People come during their lunch and feed them. So they've had their fill and they're gonna go back to their nests. Yep, they're gonna get naps. We're almost to the car, so we decided to stop and watch the ducks go by. Alright, my steps are, it's 333 and my step count is 3,084. My heart rate was 117 when we got back to the car.
This was the high at 3:45 this afternoon. And being that I forgot to close out the video, thanks for watching. And look forward to tomorrow's video. It's going to be kind of interesting. So, bye guys. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't. Ring that bell so you know. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.